my spiritual life change actually began.
I was raised in a Christian home, being involved in Sunday school and youth activities, but it wasn't until I attended Talk with Pines Christian Endeavor Camp up in Idlewild that I made a commitment to accept the Lord as my Savior at a victory circle one evening, and Dr. McGee challenged each one of us as we made this commitment to serve Him wholeheartedly.
It was July 1998, I was a new believer, and I found myself counseling 16 of the most rowdy junior high boys I've ever seen in my entire life. 12 of which on Wednesday night decided to accept Christ as their Lord and Savior. I was unsure about my own faith. Spent 2 hours that night on that meadow in that video, talking to the camp speaker and rededicating my life to Christ. It's really when my faith became my own.
Over the past 3 years, God has blessed me with a way to go to Indian Village and Adventure Mountain at Forest Town, and last year, for the first time, Hume Lake. Over these years, I made decisions to recommit my life to God. When I came down the mountain, my physical appearance hadn't changed, but somehow I felt different. I was one step closer to becoming a young woman of God.
In August 1959, I was the first member of my non-Christian family to go to a church camp, and I went because a friend invited me. I walked in the cabin and met my counselor, and to my surprise, he only had one leg. Now, that wasn't the thing I was kind of anticipating going to a camp, and Tom was there. His name was Tom Green. He was there trying to get his own life back together after walking between 2 parked cars and having it cut off in an accident. Tom and I became great friends that week, and on Thursday afternoon, he led me to Christ, August the 26th, 1959. Shortly after that, many of my family members came to Christ, and 3 of us are serving Jesus full-time now.
I'm almost 23, and this will be my 23rd summer going to Mount Hermon with my family. And whether I was at family camp or just camp with my peers, the Lord really used that time to take me away from the distractions, even distractions of summer, and capture my heart and really challenge me in my relationship with Him. And throughout the years, I've just seen what a huge impact camp really has had on my life, that so much so that He's called me back to full-time camp ministry for the past 3 summers.
Last year I was really hurting inside, questioning everything. Over the years I have struggled to find the money to go to camp, but somehow God has always provided. Last summer God used the ministry at Hume Lake to give me the strength to face some hard times and hope found only in Jesus Christ.
It was in 1958 that I had my first camp experience in a no-name place, La Grande, Oregon, in the Blue Mountains. It was a makeshift logging camp. Our cabins were boxcars. We had a no-name speaker, we had so-so music, and an OK program. But it was a life-changing experience for me, and this Bible carried me through all of it. I've documented, and this is like a monument for me of the decisions that I made that were life-changing and changed my direction in life. I'm a believer.
I would like to ask, how many of you have ever made a decision, or God has got a hold of your life at a Christian camp or conference center? Why don't you just take a moment and stand? Wow. Look around. That's amazing. Let me encourage you to take a moment and maybe send an email to the camp director, whether it be Stan White at Forest Home, Jeff Lilly at Hume Lake, or another camp from anywhere around the country, and just say thank you for the impact that place has had in your life. I'd also like to encourage you to step outside today, because today is the official beginning of children's sign-ups to go to camp, junior high and high school. Our children are going to Forest Home, and our junior high and high school students are going to Hume Lake again this year. And please pray that God will use this summer to make a huge difference in everybody's lives. And I'd encourage you to stop by the Hume Lake booth and get a chance to see all of the ministries. They don't just have ministries for kids, they have ministries for couples and policemen and firemen and adults of all ages, and would love to have you stop by the booth or click online and find out more about Forest Home or Mount Hermon. But please be praying for us that the impact of Christian camping will continue.
Thank you, Nathan.